Is your business protected against the threat of malicious litigation and frivolous lawsuits? Are you sinking company profits into marketing campaigns that do nothing to contribute to the growth of your business? Bottled Business Sense provides practical business perspectives that uniquely emphasize both legal and media marketing strategies to protect and ensure the longevity of your business. Now, whether you're trying to provide a startup business with some level of stability or an established business with foolproof asset and estate protection, or simply attempting to get a better return for your business marketing dollars, Bill Bernard and Rick Moscoso will expose potential pitfalls to ensure the security and growth of your business, free from unwanted expense and the threat of litigation. You'll learn how to implement marketing and protection tools equal to those used by today's most successful corporations. Let's join Bill and Rick for today's Bottled Business Sense show.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday at 10 a.m. here on the Bottled Business Sense Show. I want to welcome everybody back to the broadcast. And for all you new viewers and listeners out there, welcome to the show. We are the Bottled Business Sense Show, and I'm Rick Moscoso, one of your co-hosts today. We are a simulcast best practices show that offers up marketing tips, advice, best practices, as well as protecting your business from the legal standpoint. And protecting your business so you can go out there and do what you want to do most, and that's to be profitable, make money, and have fun with what you're doing out there. And so we have a legal expert on the other side and also my co-host, Mr. Bill Bernard. But before I bring him on, you're always welcome to take a look at past episodes at bottledbusinesssenseshow.com. We have a whole host of several years of broadcasts in the topics that we just talked about, both marketing and legal for your business. And we offer this free information up to our business owners as a best practices type of information knowledge base. And, Bill and I are both passionate to share this information and just talk about the things that we're experts in. And that's, marketing and legal. That surrounds your business, so you can go out there and be profitable, and also run your business safely and efficiently as you set out to. So with that, you can also reach out to us on social media at Bottled Business Sense Show. That's on Facebook, Google+, and also on Twitter at BB Sense Show. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have a topic that you'd like to hear us discuss in the future, or even want to be a guest host or a guest on the show, please reach out to us at bottledbusinesssenseshow@gmail.com, and we'd welcome your feedback and welcome you as a potential guest here for our viewership. So with that, I want to jump right into our topic today and introduce our legal expert there on the other side, Mr. Bill Bernard. How are you doing today, Bill?
I'm doing great, Rick, and hopefully everybody is still with us after that long introduction. And I appreciate Rick's thoroughness there and providing all of that to everybody. We need to get that information out to you to let you know what we do, why we do it, and how you can get hold of us. But having said that, this is going to be a short show in light of that long introduction, because we're going to talk about a topic that is very, very important to small business owners, or to any business owner, really, but does not involve a whole lot of complicated issues other than an ability and a willingness to act on the part of the business owner. And that is the EMV. What is the EMV, you might ask? Well, that's the Europay, MasterCard, and Visa organization. And by the way, I might add that the individual who's in charge of that organization, who monitors the use of credit cards in business, is a man by the name of Troy Bernard. No relationship to me, but Mr. Bernard is he's the head of the EMV, and he has made some very strong statements recently about fraud, people committing fraud in the credit card industry, and how they always find the path of least resistance. So what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about the new global standard for computer chip-based credit cards. As you remember, credit cards used to be where you, and in your business, a lot of you I know take credit cards, but you used to slide the credit cards through a machine of your choosing, wherever you, whatever vendor you decided to retain to give you these machines. You would run the credit card through. Now you stick it in a slot at the bottom of the machine, and it reads the special chip that's been implanted by EMV and issued to all major credit card companies. Effective October 1st, 2015, a little less than a year ago, it went into effect that in order to encourage businesses to accept these new chip-based credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express have now undertaken the effort to shift liability for fraudulent credit card charges to the business owner who fails to switch over to these cards. So, as you know, in the past, when you got a fraudulent charge, you could usually call your company and they would make good for it. But now, if you refuse to switch over to this new technology that will allow the new chip-based cards to be used in your business, you may in fact be liable for any fraudulent charges that come your way.
So okay. we've seen the launch of this, and it's been kind of a slow trickle down launch at the places that you shop. I know most of the grocery stores use the chip-based technology, but at the same time, you see business owners who have a little piece of tape over that slot that have not activated or participated in that technology. And, why would a business owner choose not to do that?
I don't know that a business owner chooses not to do it. I think what the issue is, Rick, to be honest, is you keep that other sliding part available because, in fact, I can point to a couple of cards in my wallet right now that have not, after almost a year, issued me a chip-based card. So they have to have it available for people that still have the sliding cards and have not gotten a chip-based card yet. I would say out of about the 10 credit cards I have in my wallet, I would say probably 7 or 8 of them have converted and actually issued new chip-based cards. But the other ones have just taken the stance that, well, we'll issue the new chip-based cards when your card expires rather than do it early on, which some companies have decided to do. In that case, you're not going to be liable for somebody who's got a card that doesn't have a chip in it. If the customer uses that, the customer is going to have to prove that either he or she didn't get a chip-based card yet, or that they did, and they decided to use the old card and not use the new chip-based card for some reason. That's going to determine who's going to be liable for some of these fraudulent charges, if in fact there's. But remember, right? A customer is not going to use his own card and commit fraud. Typically, somebody's going to grab the card and commit fraud, and if the person who grabs the card grabs a customer's card that is not chip-based and uses it, it's going to be up to the company who issued that card to show that they sent the consumer a chip-based card already, right? Because otherwise, if they didn't, that company is going to be on the hook for the fraudulent charges. So here's what you need to know. If you accept credit cards at your point of sale, let's switch over from the consumer now and switch over to the business owner. You must install new card reading software and or equipment in your business. If you do not have what's typically now being referred to as EMV capable equipment, that's again, Europay, MasterCard, and Visa issued equipment, liability of credit card fraud now shifts from the credit card provider to you. Number 2, if you use a phone or tablet-based mobile credit card reader, well, you better request a new EMV capable reader. Request a new reader. I mean, just, go to your company and request one. If you do not accept physical credit cards, the EMV change does not apply to you. So if you don't accept credit cards, don't worry about it. You're not going to have any liability. And finally, I would consider as a consumer now not as a business owner, but as a consumer, who may also, of course, be a business owner, consider beefing up your online payment security by having a card not present notification. For example, when my card is used and a vendor charges my card for a monthly service, like say my computer cloud protection, I get a notification from American Express: card used when you're not present. Meaning that they're notifying me that my card is being charged even though I didn't physically use it, which is the security notification for me, so I know if anybody's trying to commit fraud, because I know what the charges are going to be for the people that I'm allowing to use it, right? So these are important criteria that you need to take into consideration.
So would that apply then to online purchases, or how does it affect online purchases?
Well, online purchases, you can't use the chip. You can't put your hand through the computer and use the chip, right? So no. You're going to always have that separate evaluation of whether there's fraud or not based on whatever business is conducted online. This is for people who come into your business or where you have a credit card and you're given a credit card and you either run it through your business machine or you run it through your phone that has the appropriate attachment like Square or some of the others. You better have the chip capable hardware, because if you don't, and that person who's giving you that card is committing fraud because he or she stole that card, then your business may be liable for those fraudulent charges if you don't have the chip-based technology to be able to accept the card. Then the person is going to run the card, right? Using the magnetic strip on the back of the card. Remember that all of the chip-based cards that I've seen, and I could be wrong as they're making this changeover, some of them still have the magnetic strip in the back for people who don't have this chip-based equipment. So they're basically giving you an either-or opportunity. You need to make sure that if you have your chip-based technology installed in your business, you're not going to accept the person who wants to run the card with the magnetic strip. You're going to have to only accept the one. So if a guy has a card that has the strip and the chip, and your machine takes the chip, you're going to say, nope, you can't run the strip. You got to put it in with the chip. So you slide the card in, it reads the chip. Now, if there's fraud committed by that person who has the card, your business is more than likely not going to be liable for those fraudulent charges because you have the proper technology installed. So,
do you see a consumer fear of using that chip in protecting their private information? Have you heard that at all?
No, I don't think so. And look, this is the way technology is going. There's not a whole lot we can do about what EMG is. I never get that right. EMV is doing. Because don't forget, Rick, Mr. Bernard's a powerful man, and what he says at EMV is what happens. So, having said that, in all jest, I don't foresee a problem there any more than I would with any other credit card that was issued prior to this chip-based technology. Remember that people who commit fraud are always going to find the path of least resistance. And the final important point in the show that I want to make is that while EMV transactions take a little longer than your traditional magnetic strip credit cards, because you've got to wait for it to read it, it takes a few seconds to come back and verify it. It's well worth your while to educate employees and customers on the new system so they know how to use it. They're familiar with the little bit of lag time that they're going to have to wait. And so employees are on board. So if somebody does try to run it with the strip, they're able to stop them and say, no, we can't accept that. You're going to have to use the chip. And in fact, a lot of the cards now with the chips, if you try to run it with the magnetic strip, will not take the strip. It will it will force you to use the chip. The magnetic strip, as I said earlier, is only there for businesses that still don't and are faltering and lagging behind, that still don't have the chip-based technology. Then you're allowed to use the strip. So remember, if you do not have EMV capable point-of-sale equipment in your place of business to accept these EMV cards, the liability of credit card fraud shifts from the credit card provider to you, the business owner. And we do not want that to happen in our efforts on this show to protect and make sure a business is prosperous, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I know there's a number of businesses out there that are strictly brick and mortar, but there's also these brick and mortar businesses that maybe participate in event-based point of sale things. Maybe they do once or twice a year. They go out to some networking event or host some kind of fair, or they have a booth in some kind of fair. Would that same thing apply? Would they be required to have an EMV?
Well, if they're using credit cards, Rick, yeah. I mean, excuse me. I've seen many marketing events and business hosting events where people will have the little credit card machine right there and hook up, and it's mobile. They take it from their office to wherever they're going. I would say yes. You should use that machine at these events. If you don't have the ability to use the machine at these events, then if you decide to take credit cards in some fashion by punching them in by the old hand method or using some other method that doesn't have chip technology, well, then you're taking a risk, because an argument could be made that at that show that is an extension of your business, and that you're now doing business just like you would if you were using your mobile phone and taking a credit card from somebody in someone's place of business. You go to somebody's office, you take the credit card, you swipe it on your phone through the Square machine or some other machine. There's no difference in doing that than if you're at one of these shows. So you better know and be prepared for wherever you're going to conduct a brick and mortar business, whether it's mobile or typically in one place for most of the time. Just save yourself a lot of heartache and headaches and get this new technology is what I would recommend.
Yeah. Is there do you see a point in time where the your namesake is going to require this for every business, no matter what, for credit cards? Will that be that transition sometime in the future?
Well, I think it is pretty much required for every business that's using credit card payment technology. I mean, if you have a MasterCard or Visa or American Express, now you may have some other kind of a card like Discovery or something like that, but if you have those three major credit cards, EMV has made it mandatory to have this chip technology inside of all of the particular banks that issue Visas, MasterCards, or American Express. So yeah, you're going to have to succumb to that if you're going to want to use that kind of a card. Because remember, Chase Bank, Union Bank, Bank of America, they don't own Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. Those are given to the banks to have the banks put their names on them so they can have their own Bank of America Visa or Bank of America, MasterCard. American Express, of course, is typically always American Express. You'll see exceptions now and then. I remember Costco used to have an American Express Costco card where American Express will make big deals with some big companies, but typically they're totally independent. So Europay, MasterCard, and Visa, EMG, basically controls these three major credit cards and allows these cards to require chip technology, and then these cards are provided to various banking institutions and financial institutions. So
I guess why I asked that question is because, when you go fill up your car for gas, if you go inside, then yeah, they have the chip reader, but yet on the pumps, it's still the insert and slide, right? It's easy.
Right.
They'll read the magnetic strip. So I was just wondering about that because no one wants to walk inside when they have the reader right out there, but yet it's still the magnetic strip.
Well, I suspect, and I don't know, I haven't heard anything in this regard, but I suspect that'll eventually change over. I think it will. And I'm not here to say that in all instances, if you don't have a chip reader, you're going to be liable for fraudulent charges. Certainly, if you're doing a good business with this credit card company, they may still, in fact, back you. But I think the real gist of this new law since last October is that eventually they want everybody to switch over so fraud charges aren't passed on to credit card companies because of some irresponsible business owner who didn't bother to get the chip technology. And that may in fact be why after almost a year we still don't have a complete switchover. It's going to take some time before everybody finally buys into this, but I think it's well worth their while, because why would you want to present the opportunity to your business to potentially be, to potentially incur these charges that are based on fraud. I mean, nasty people.
Right. Well, so, like we said at the top of the show, folks, we're out here to give you free advice, and this is certainly something, if you do accept credit cards and have point of sale type of business, that this is a very important transition that you really need to make. And make it soon, so you are fully protected when it comes to accepting credit card payments. So a great episode, Bill. A wealth of information as usual. And if you have any questions in regard to this technology, maybe not so much the technology, but the use of this and why you should use it, please reach out to Bill. His contact information is below. And
or maybe you want to reach out to Mr. Troy Bernard. I think he would probably know a lot more than me about all the intricacies of it. I'm here to just kind of provide you with some hot tips. But yes, if you want to know your legal rights, I'm happy to help you out.
Okay, awesome. Well, as usual, thanks again, Bill, for a great episode. Folks, join us again next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. here on the Bottle Business Sense Show. Thanks for joining us today. And as always, go out there and have a profitable and safe and prosperous day. And we will see you guys all again next week at 10 a.m. on Tuesday.
Okay, take care, everybody.